All right, so today in this short video, I want to address something that's not as fun, but is extremely relevant for you as a homeowner, and that's avoiding contractor scams. In the last few years, the amount of calls we have gotten in my office for projects that have already been completed that were part of a scam, that weren't done properly, that didn't have permits pulled, that are in litigation or the Contractor State License Board is unbelievable. So I'm recording this video with the hopes of arming you with the knowledge so that you can spot a scam from 1,000 miles away. Hey, I'm Matt DiBara, owner of DiBara Masonry. We are the leading masonry and concrete specialists here in Los Angeles. My family's been helping homeowners for over 100 years. So, if you're looking for tips, tricks, and ways to avoid contractor scams, you're in the right place. Ciao. There's 5 simple points that you need to know. The first one is big deposits before starting work. I want to tell you how we operate in my company. For me, trust is key. I want my clients to feel comfortable. We take $0 as a deposit. I never take deposits. I don't take any money until my crew shows up and we've started work. So for you as the homeowner, big deposits is a no-no. Usually it means that there's not cash flow in the company or there's some reason why they need to take a large payment up front. And I would urge you to be very careful when you see that. The second point, and just as important, is an unclear contract. It's really important that you know this because an unclear contract is a few things. It's very short and abbreviated, and there's a lot of jargon. So what I urge my clients to do is to clearly understand your contract, to never sign an agreement without knowing exactly what you're getting. If you don't know, you're in trouble. So if you can't clearly understand it, hey, I don't know what this cooler condenser means. Hey, I don't know what number 4 rebar means. What's this spacing? I want to change this. Let's simplify this. If the contractor isn't willing to sit down with you and to go through point for point, it's probably not a good deal on your end. Point number 3, and just as important as the other 2, unfavorable terms of payment. Unfavorable payment terms are payment terms that are stacked in the contractor's favor and not in your favor. What that looks like is if you understand your contract, which is point 2, the terms of payment are based on the scope of work. Let's say you have a job and it's $5,000. If I'm charging you $4,000 upon arrival and commencement of work, that's a problem. What you want to do is you want to look for a payment schedule that's broken up in intervals that you can understand and that makes sense. And it's very important that you understand what that interval is because you never want to release payment before the contractor meets the interval. So if a contractor shows up with a little bit of material, he or she is taking 70% of the contract value, that probably doesn't make sense. So understand your payment terms, which is a function of you understanding your contract, and make sure you feel good about them. The best rule of thumb is to stack more of the payments towards the end of the scope of work. And this is a bonus tip. If your job has inspections, always stack the payments after approval of the inspections. It's really important. That's a bonus tip that I wanted to throw in here for you. Number 4 is a clear project schedule. Now, what a clear schedule looks like is you and your contractor clearly identifying and hopefully in writing the steps of your project and how long things are gonna take. Now, understand that if you have a good ethical contractor, such as when clients talk to us, there is wiggle room. But what you're really looking for is you're looking for a contractor to walk you through step by step your project and how long things are gonna take. Okay, great, you're gonna install a shed. How long before the footing's poured? How long before it's framed out? When does the roof go on? You wanna clearly understand it, and I urge you not to continue until you understand the schedule. This is one place where contractors absolutely take advantage of clients. They don't have clear schedules, and what they do is they fit in and pencil in all these jobs, and they'll start one job, get a good payment, then move on to the next one, get a good payment, go back to yours, and you'll find out that a job that should have taken a week and a half takes 4 months. And at the end of the day, if you don't have it in writing, then you don't have a clear schedule. You have nothing to look back on and say, wait a minute, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, this was supposed to take X amount of time. Why is it taking longer? And you're gonna need that if you end up in the next step, which is, and we hope you never get there after watching this video, but is litigation or the Contractor State License Board. That becomes crucial. So always have a clear schedule. Number 5, and I cannot stress the importance of this, is a final project walkthrough. Now it's very important, as I mentioned in point 4, is a clear schedule. What you want to do is you want to schedule a final project walkthrough with your contractor. What this looks like is a dedicated amount of time. Depending on the size of your project, it could be as little as 20, 30 minutes or as long as 2 or 3 hours. Ensure that there's no outstanding items and make sure that you as a consumer understand exactly what it is that you're getting and if there's anything you need to do. There's 2 objectives in a final project walkthrough. Is there anything that doesn't look right that they need to address? And is there anything you need to know in the future? Should this concrete be sealed? Should it be cleaned annually? How do you keep your bricks cleaned? The do's and don'ts. You want to discuss where you're at now in the process and what you needed to do in the future to get the most out of what you just paid for. Now, if you recall at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that my office is constantly getting calls of work that is done improperly, that is involving the CSLB, that is involving litigation. Not work we did, work we get called to then take over. So what I've done selfishly, and if it's any benefit for you, is I've actually written a book that expands upon these topics. If it's something that you want to learn more about and you want to cover this, rather than me spending a few hours explaining it, I actually put everything in a neat, clear, concise, understandable book where I give you do's and don'ts and checklists and red flags so you as a homeowner know exactly what to look out for and how to find, vet, hire, and manage contractors so that you don't end up in the situation that's all too common from phone calls at my office. If you're interested in learning more about this, like I mentioned, and you want to take advantage of a book that's going to teach you things that you can't find anywhere else, you can go ahead and take advantage of that on my website, www.DiBaraMasonry.com.